Now for Focus, and we head deep into the forests of southern Cameroon, a place the Baka Pygmies once called home. Over the past 6 decades, the exploitation of the forest by logging companies has pushed the ethnic community even further away from their ancestral grounds. With hundreds of thousands of hectares now being off limits to the Pygmies, many live alongside the main logging trail. But ever since one of the major players in the logging industry, French company Rougier, filed for bankruptcy earlier this year, some Pygmies have begun nurturing a still hypothetical dream to reclaim parts of the forest and traditional lifestyle.
A forest stretching out as far as the eye can see. Dense in most places, but sparse in some other areas. A direct consequence of the intense exploitation of tropical wood. It's the main economic activity in Joum in southern Cameroon. The town has been brought to a halt since the Forest and Industrial Company of Doume filed for legal redress in France last March. The firm, which is a subsidiary of the French company Rougier, has been exploiting close to 200,000 hectares of forest land here since 1969. Today, though, the site is all but abandoned. Forgotten logs of wood, heavy machinery left behind, and more than 200 employees temporarily laid off. For several years, Baka Pygmies have been prohibited from entering the site. Emmanuel is one of the Pygmies who have been unable to access their land ever since Rougier got here.
So here we are in our campground, which we called Avuka. This is where my father lives, with his wife.
Emmanuel and the other Pygmies were the original inhabitants in this forest. They've never reaped the benefits that come from exporting tropical wood. Even worse, they've been forced to leave their ancestral homeland and to abandon their hunting and picking lifestyle.
This is a traditional Baka home. The door is right here, and there's a bed inside.
Emmanuel has since become the spokesperson for his community, expressing anger at the Rougier company. He takes us to the area which has become the center of the resentment toward the French corporation. The exploitation of the forest without any respect for the Baka Pygmies has had some devastating effects.
Over there is where the sacred site used to be. We had to leave the area immediately after it was destroyed by the logging company. For us, when a sacred site is destroyed, especially by a corporation, everyone in our community has to pack up and leave. If not, we will all be cursed and die soon.
Emmanuel isn't trying to hide his joy at the demise of the French company. After having been chased away from their forests and seen their religious sites vandalized, the Baka Pygmies believe that destiny has avenged them.
Well, really, it is a good thing that the logging company had to shut down. Because from my experience, this is a company that has never helped my community. We were the first inhabitants here, but they just came and exploited the forest without giving us anything in return. Here, we never had the hospitals and health centers they have in cities, but we had our forest, and the forest gave us everything we needed. The food, everything. But now, it's all gone. It's all been destroyed.
These Baka Pygmies now have to live on the edge of forest roads. They have no land to rebuild and no resources to live elsewhere. Only 4 Pygmies worked for the Rougier Corporation out of more than 200 employees. Gaston almost lost his arm last year while cutting a tree. The accident was followed by several operations.
They operated on me at the area hospital. During the operation, I had no idea where I was.
After remaining hospitalized for 1 year, Gaston is now back in his Pygmy community. He's now disabled and spends his days drinking alcohol and awaiting a possible disability pension. But this could be a dream, bearing in mind Rougier's difficult financial situation.
They told us the forest company's going to close. I'm completely lost. Given that the company's leaving, I want them to give me my disability money. That's all I want before they leave.
Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon, lies 300 kilometers from Joum. Here we meet with the chairperson of the board of directors of the Cameroon branch of Rougier. He says his company paid the government in order to be allowed to exploit the forest. He tells us the money should be used to compensate the Baka Pygmies.
Once the pygmy habitat is destroyed, it's impossible to rebuild it. There are significant sums of money that are allocated to the local population as part of the operating taxes and property taxes.
The possible bankruptcy of the forest and industrial company of Dumé won't be enough to return the forest to the Baka Pygmies, but they hope to profit from the exploitation of tropical wood in the area. The Rougier company, which is also present in Gabon, Congo, and in the Central African Republic, will learn its fate in the near future.
Well, that's it from us. Do stay tuned for more news coming up.